Today, we dive into the story of two teenagers, Brian and Tori, in the year 2006, whose obsession with horror films turned into a real-life nightmare. Inspired by the killers in Scream, they plotted a chilling murder, targeting someone they knew, someone they trusted. What started as a twisted fantasy soon spiraled into a horrifying reality, leaving terror in its wake. So sit back and prepare yourself for a true story of obsession, madness, and the shocking consequences that followed. The night was suffocating, shrouded in an unnatural, eerie quiet that clung to the small town of Idaho on 2006. The streets were empty, the houses bathed in dim, flickering lights. A cold, unsettling fog curled through the air, wrapping the town in its suffocating embrace. It was sometime late at night, and something was waiting. The silence was unnerving, as if the town itself held its breath, waiting for the horror that was about to unfold. Brian, the ringleader, wasn't just a fan of slasher films, he was consumed by them. It wasn't enough to watch the terror unfold on screen. By 2006, he yearned to be the killer, the embodiment of masked terror. Tori, his accomplice, was all too eager to join. Together, they dreamed of creating their own bloody masterpiece. Their obsession became a dangerous reality, one that was set in motion by a sickening plan. A murder spree based on the killers they idolized, and it would start with people they knew. A list of names, cold and detached, filled their minds with twisted purpose. The first name was Cassie Jo, a sweet 16-year-old girl who went to school with them. But the plan wasn't easy. Their first attempts to carry out the killings failed. Every time they tried, someone was there. Always a witness, always a protector. But Brian and Tori weren't deterred. This was sometime in 2006, and they knew that the perfect moment was still to come. They would wait. The hunt would continue. The perfect opportunity arrived in late 2006. Cassie Jo would be alone, house-sitting for her aunt and uncle that weekend. A house, isolated and far from prying eyes. No one could stop them. The whispers in their minds grew louder. This was it. As the day of the crime drew closer, the two set their plan in motion. It was Friday, September 22nd, 2006, when they crafted their masks, twisted, deformed versions of the ones from Scream with their own sinister touch. Their excitement was palpable as they saw Cassie that very day at school. They filmed her, capturing her innocent smile as she walked past them, blissfully unaware of the fate awaiting her.
Hello, Cassie. Yeah. I'm getting you on tape, okay? Say hi, please. Okay, see ya.
But things didn't go as planned. Cassie's boyfriend would be there too, staying the night. No matter. The more, the better. They would take him too. That night, they arrived at the house. Just another group of friends, pretending to be innocent, laughing and joking with Cassie. They toured the house, casually checking every corner, every hiding spot. Everything was falling into place. Just before the horror began, they pretended to leave. "We're going to watch a movie at the theater," they lied. But that was part of the act. They drove off, only to park in the darkness, just a short distance away. The masks were on, the knives were ready. The terror was about to begin. Their knives were cold, heavy in their hands, ready to spill blood. September 22nd, 2006. Late that night, the adrenaline surged through their veins as they prepared for the real horror. The moment was upon them. They moved closer to the house, the rush of it all consuming them. No turning back. No mercy. They snuck back to the house, slipping through the back door they had secretly unlocked during the earlier tour. The basement was their lair. They waited in the silence of the darkened house, knowing they were only moments away from unleashing chaos. The power was still on, but that would change. They made noise, hoping to lure Cassie or her boyfriend downstairs, but no one came. Then, they did the unthinkable. They cut the power, plunging the house into absolute darkness. Upstairs, Cassie and her boyfriend could feel it. The wrongness, the unease. The dog growled at the basement door. The lights flickered on and off, casting long, unsettling shadows. Something wasn't right. Cassie's sense of dread grew. Her boyfriend called his mom, asking to stay the night, but she refused. With a final goodbye, he left. Cassie was alone, left in the pitch-black dark, her fear growing stronger with every heartbeat. As Cassie lay on the couch, unaware of the predators that had emerged from the shadows, Brian and Tori flicked the circuit breaker one last time. Darkness enveloped the house completely. They crept through the hallways, silent as ghosts, their breath shallow and rapid. Upstairs, Cassie lay in the dark, vulnerable, unaware of the horror that crept closer. They moved in, knives raised. The first strike was sudden, violent, and Cassie's body jerked with shock. And then another, and another. Over and over again, they stabbed her, relentless, 30 times more, until there was nothing left of her but a bloodied, lifeless form on the couch. Their excitement reached a fever pitch. The thrill, the rush of it, was all-consuming. They had done it. They ran, their hearts pounding, leaving the house behind. They sprinted down the street, adrenaline surging. They had killed her, just like in the movies. Their hands, their minds, were intoxicated by the blood they had spilled. But the thrill wasn't enough. They needed to capture their victory. While driving back home, they filmed themselves with a camera, shaking with the aftermath of their crime.
Killed Cassie. We just left her house. This is not a f***ing joke.
I'm shaking.
I stabbed her in the throat and I saw her lifeless body just disappear. Dude, I just killed Cassie. I mean, it went by so fast.
Shut the f*** up. We gotta get our act straight.
Their voices trembled, but the dark exhilaration still burned within them. As dawn approached on September 23, 2006, the euphoria began to fade. The weight of their actions started to settle in. They drove to Black Rock Canyon, hoping to burn their evidence. Knives, masks, tapes. But the fire didn't burn everything. They buried what remained, hoping to erase it all. But how could they? How could they burn what was already etched into their souls? Days passed, but the horror of their crime would not be erased. On the 24th of September, 2006, Cassie's aunt and uncle returned home to find her lifeless body. The police investigation was swift. Her boyfriend revealed Brian and Tori were with them that night, but left early to watch a movie elsewhere. The slip-up, the mistake about the movie. And suddenly, the police knew. They knew the truth. After they lied, they had gone to watch a movie after leaving Cassie and her boyfriend that night. One question revealed the truth. What movie did you guys watch that night? That was when they knew they messed up. They watched each other in confusion, not knowing what to say. Brian broke. The weight of his guilt crushed him. On the 26th of September, he confessed everything. He led the police to the hidden evidence, the tapes, the masks, the knives, the sickening proof of their twisted crime. On the 27th of September, 2006, they were arrested. Brian and Tori, their names forever marked by the horror they'd unleashed, sentenced to life in prison, their fate sealed. And to think it all began with a love for a movie that turned murder into a twisted game. But in the end, the game was over. The price was more than they ever could have imagined. So hey, watch what taste of movies your kids are obsessed with. You never know. Maybe your child could be the next Brian or Tori.